Good evening, Los Santos. I am Chris Gray, and this is a special edition of Weazel News. Tonight, we're bringing you a story that could change the course of justice in our city. A case that's been at the center of controversy for months. A high-stakes courtroom drama where a convicted criminal fights to overturn a sentence that's been the talk of the town. The infamous RICO Act case that had everyone on edge. After months of legal battles and intense scrutiny, the decision has come down. The suspect has won their appeal. How did this happen? What does it mean for the future of crime and punishment in Los Santos? Stick around as we dive into the details and break down the shocking twist that led to this momentum victory. You won't want to miss this. Stay tuned for an explosive development after this.
I have a question for you real quick.
Yes.
The official incident report number is 4663, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you know why the other suspects in this case were not properly processed via the MDT? I see that everyone's there, but they never notated that these people had been processed in their official times and all that stuff were not.
Well, I think they were waiting on the final words from you. Did you submit the final verdict paperwork?
No.
All right. That's probably why they were, because there was a lot of confusion going on. So I think that's why it wasn't properly processed.
Gotcha. All right. Well, go ahead.
So my client, Miss Lee, she was found guilty of the charges given the standard sentence, but we believe that her case is unique as Miss Lee is an upstanding member of our city. She runs a business, Benny's Automotive. I believe she has only been arrested a few times. Let me pull that up. She's only been arrested for 8 times, all for petty theft.
I'm sorry.
All for petty theft. Her last conviction prior to this charge was in December 18th of 2024. So it had been an extended period of time. Since her last arrest, none of them seemed to involve her being violent with the law. And also, she's been trying to clean up her life. And she did give me a written statement, which I provided to you, that she would like to speak to you on her behalf, if you don't mind.
I'm ready.
Is that better?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I wanted to plead my case to you today, as Buford has explained. In the past few months, I've been focused on building a better future. I've been running my own business. I am a manager at Benny's, but I also just procured Uru, so I am the owner there. And I know that it's pretty. It takes a lot of work. But with everything that's been going on, I have been afraid to go to work because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And I've always wanted Uru, and I know that to get an official business license, like when we tried with Benny's, was that you have to be clean. That's just the way it goes. Now, I knew at the time that MCD had been disbanded, but I hear that they are back, and like I said, I am just trying to be something, putting my energy towards something more productive and meaningful, and having these responsibilities is kept me grounded and given me a sense of purpose. And I really, really, really don't want to jeopardize me losing Uwu. And I want to go about it the right way. And yes, I know, everybody knows, yes, I am in love with Mick, but at the same time, you can't really help who you love. And just because he runs off and does something, doesn't mean that I have to make those choices as well. If he goes off and he does something and he comes back and I know he's safe, that's all I care about. As far as anything else he's doing out there, he does not tell me for safety reasons. But Your Honor, you can't help love who you love. And I love that man. And I know that might be wrong in some people's eyes, but I don't care.
They always put a sock on the door when we're at home.
And I'm not trying to say anything for his character, but with me, the what he does outside of when we're together is what he does, and when we're together is just, I can't see us apart. He's treated me the best in any relationship that I've ever been in, even with my own parents. So, I mean, that's honestly all I have to say about that.
Have you two ever been arrested together?
Yes, we have. It was, unfortunately for me, a wrong time, wrong place kind of situation. I believe it was for something, oh gosh, something about there was a shootout and I was deep in thought and I got arrested and I woke up in a jail cell.
I'm just looking at a couple things. I'm here just.
No, I understand.
So, counselor, in regards to this most recent case, did you have a certain statement that you wanted to give?
Well, again, I believe Miss Lee was lumped in by the city in terms of these crimes. I believe she is attempting to turn her life around and believe that the guilty verdict was unjust in her situation. And I do throw it on the mercy of the court to review the ruling against my client, Miss Lee.
All right. During the court case, you had some specific individuals. Some individuals you spoke for or had them speak for themselves individually, and some you did not. And I think that she was. Gotcha. So, could we pretend like we're in court again and you kind of give a defense in her favor regarding this? And
Absolutely.
okay.
So again, Miss Lee, if you'd like to go ahead and take the stand, we'll go ahead and quickly do.
It's the booty shorts, ma.
And I'll just swear you in. So, raise your left hand, please. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you, kudos?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated. You may proceed, counselor.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, if you could just, Miss Lee, state your name for the record, please. And what work do you do here in the city?
I am on Uwu. Also, I'm a business manager at Benny's.
And how long have you been with those organizations, would you say?
Uwu, I just procured within the month. So it's been almost a month with Uwu. And then Benny's, oh geez. Oh, 6 months or longer. I believe it's been 6 months.
So in this time, you've seen and worked on plenty of vehicles, I imagine.
Yes, I have. We actually have a deal going right now. If you come in, you get a free repair. I think we have like 60 left.
Oh, wonderful.
62.
Oh, even better. Now, in that time, I know that you have been in a relationship with Mr. Kozlov. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And do you cohabitate with Mr. Kozlov,
Uh,
or do you have
can
your
you?
own, or do you have your own residence where you
Oh,
live?
I have my own residence, yes.
All right.
But I do
And
have. He does allow me access to his house.
all right. Now, in that time, have you been trying to get uwu, and you just came about it? You were aware when you got the business license that you needed to have a clean record. Is that correct?
When I tried to get the business license for Benny's at the time, Levinsky was in charge of MCD, and I had come to him for him because I had been running the straight and narrow. And Levinsky said he was going to speak on my behalf about getting the business license. I believe he talked to Gordon, and Gordon had found that I'm engaged to Mick Koslov. And once Goran had spoke to Levinsky about that, he said that he would not be vouching for me, even though that I hadn't done anything wrong I hadn't done any crime in a while.
So, yet again, we're feeling that the only reason that you were brought here and put into this case was because of your relationship with Mr. Kozlov.
I also had a friend of mine come up to me and let me know that when she was doing a food delivery to the prison for Uwu, that a Jimmy King was there, and he was shouting at the PD department that my name and my son's name was not on the warrant list.
Right. So we have you originally not on the list, but
Correct.
then after people, one individual who, strangely enough, does not remember any time, was shouting to the police that you are also a member of the organization.
Correct. I also the evening that the RICO got put into place, I actually got pulled over by PD and cooperated fully with them. And at the time, they could have arrested me if there was a warrant out for my arrest, but they did not.
So again, we feel that the state decided to, in their attempt to punish Mr. Kozlov, are now going after family members who may have had a loose affiliation, but not nearly what they are claiming in terms of someone who is a hardened criminal out shooting and ruining our city. Miss Lee clearly is someone who is trying to uplift the city and uplift herself. Judge, do you have any questions for Miss Lee?
Were you placed? Were you temporarily incarcerated?
I was, Your Honor, I have an ankle monitor, and I was ordered to pay the bail money for the ankle monitor as well.
Gotcha.
Because she was not arrested at the time, and she was added later. She chose to turn herself in and was given the bail that you prescribed.
That is correct.
All right. So you feel like you were incorrectly targeted, correct?
I mean, if I got pulled over by the police and they knew who I was, and if I was on that warrant list the first time around, and then somebody who's not supposed to remember anything remembers something and tell somebody and then get added to the list.
Do you feel like you were incorrectly targeted due to your association with Mr. Kozlov?
I do.
Sorry. And you just recently procured Uwu, is that correct?
I did, yes.
And I gave you the business license for Benny's?
You gave it to a friend of mine, Miss Kitty. She is actually the owner, and we're just business managers.
Gotcha. So on paper, you're just the manager there, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm just getting Uwu up and running. I've gotten some good employees there that are actually opening the place. So that's what I've been looking for, because I know the last it was because there wasn't enough employees that wanted to. But as far as I know, the keeping record, it's been open almost every day since I've procured the place.
All right. You may be seated. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'll go ahead and grant the appeal, but we're going to have to go down to the police department and have them take your own ankle monitor currently, correct?
I am.
So we'll have to go down there and speak to, I guess, the chief that's on duty and have him reimburse you for that bail amount and remove that ankle monitor. Okay?
Now, I have a question. Is this going to stay on my record or is it removed?
It's the arrest will show, but it will show that you were not convicted.
Okay.
So it'll just show that it was dismissed by the state. So we'll go.
Judge Snow, I do appreciate your time and patience in helping us get this taken care of.
And there you have it. An unexpected turn of events that have left many questioning the very foundation of our justice system here in Los Santos. The implications of this case are far-reaching, and with the suspect's appeal granted, the question on everyone's mind is, what happens next? Will this set a new precedent, or is it just the beginning of an even bigger battle? The streets of this city are about to get a lot more complicated. As always, Weazel News will be here to bring you every twist, turn, and headline in this unfolding saga. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chris Gray, and we'll keep you updated as the story develops. Until next time, stay safe out there, Los Santos.